Hi, everybody. I'm Sherrie Funk with Just Cruisin Plus. My husband Charlie is here with us today, and we are just so pleased to have three ladies with celebrity cruises. So let me introduce them to you. First is Susana Romero, and Susana is the Director of Sales for the Galapagos product for celebrity. Michelle Homoky, who is
Hello.
she's regional director of sales for the Southeast, and Maria Pizzo, who is our
Hello.
market sales manager.
Yes.
So ladies, we're glad to have you all today. And without further, unless Charlie has something that he wants to say to you guys, we'll go ahead and start the presentation.
Well, I do want to say that Sherrie and I have not had the opportunity to take this trip to the Galapagos yet, and it's a dream vacation for both of us. And it is particularly so because we expect the product quality to be equal to that which we've had on the celebrity cruise product for the last 27 years. We had our first, actually longer than that, now that I think about it, it's probably almost 30 years, because we first sailed on Celebrity to Bermuda many years ago, and the quality of the product, the service, accommodations, dining, everything was so spectacularly better than things that we had done before, that if we have even half of that, and I expect we will, combined with what has to be one of the most visually exciting vacations that I've ever anticipated, it's going to be great. And let's get started.
Charlie, that's music to my ears. I am assuming that was either Horizon or Zenith back in the day. And if there's one thing that we have done as a brand is evolve and improve and just get absolutely better. So I have zero doubts that we're going to deliver on that expectation and promise. And if there is one,
it was on the horizon, and it was in the day of Dave Christopher and Tony Musto.
Oh, Tony Musto, dear friend of mine. I've been with this brand for a very, very long time. So has Michelle. So sorry, Maria. Maybe you were not even born back then.
She probably
wasn't. But
it's okay.
But it warms my heart when I speak to someone like you, Charlie, and like you, Sherrie, that know our brand since the beginning. And you are a great testament of what we do, and we do well. So thank you again. So having said that, and now that I'm all emotional about you being part of the brand for such a long time, I'll take you through what I think it's almost like the big jewel on our crown. The Galapagos Islands are certainly legendary, and they're certainly amazing. And up until about 16 years ago, when we decided to start sailing in Galapagos, no one really brought a premium or modern luxury experience to these islands. So clients like you, guests like you that are expecting what Celebrity offers, had kind of a tough time going there. So I want to take you to the islands, and I also want to take you to these islands in Celebrity style. We offer a truly seamless, environmentally conscious vacation, Celebrity style, because honestly, we truly believe that there is a big difference between visiting and experiencing. So let me share with you what Dr. Ellen Prager, which is our science advisor, has helped us understand and learn about these islands.
There are no other places like it on Earth. A place where the surrounding ocean is the undercurrent that creates a unique web of life.
The Galapagos Islands are unusually rich in wildlife, in large part because of the ocean.
Here, deep, cold, nutrient-rich water is forced to the surface, setting off a chain of events that give rise to a wealth of strange and wondrous animals. The Galapagos lie at the intersection of several major ocean currents, but it is one current that is especially important.
At the equator, a current within the ocean's depths flows eastward, striking the submerged base of the Galapagos Islands. This sets in motion the very essentials for the creation of life.
As the equatorial undercurrent strikes the base of the islands in the west, cold, nutrient-rich water flows to the surface and acts like fertilizer. Algae and phytoplankton bloom, producing the food that fuels the island's life.
The phytoplankton, or tiny drifting plants, are eaten by small drifting animals or zooplankton, which then feed a wealth of other creatures in the islands.
Fish and squid eat the zooplankton and then are the prey for larger creatures.
Birds plunge and dive into the sea, where sea turtles and marine iguanas swim. Sea lions, penguins, sharks, and even whales come to feed.
When upwelling is the strongest, Galapagos is abundant with life. Animals reproduce. The young survive and juveniles grow strong.
With strong upwelling in the west, marine iguanas grow large and dense in population. Penguins and flightless cormorants thrive, as does the underwater life. In the Galapagos, many of the animals are unique or endemic to the islands.
In the Galapagos, the ocean provides the fuel that sparks life. And here, it is rich, wild, and like no other place on Earth.
That great, the ocean provides the fuel that sparks life, right? So true. Oh, every time I see it again, I'm just so ready, and I want to get back on an airplane. Like you said, Sherrie, we're ready to get back on an airplane no matter what, but especially in this amazing part of the world. So before we get into the animals and how we do it and what it feels like, just kind of want to have a little bit of a check-in as to what it is that we do in Galapagos. We have a truly all-inclusive experience. And this is a core 10-night package, which includes a 2-night pre-stay in Quito, Ecuador, and a 1-night post-stay in Quito, Ecuador, plus the cruise. And there's many reasons why we did the pre-stays in Quito and the 2-night pre. One, super important to me because I happen to love this city. Quito, Ecuador, as a capital city, is a World Heritage Site. It's an amazing place to visit. And I think respectfully, it should be a week stay, but at least a 1-day stay. It's perfect to get to feel and see this city. But also as important is the fact that because of flight issues, and as travelers, we know that flight delays and flight cancellations happen constantly. In the case of going to the Galapagos, if you only come in 1 day prior and you happen to have a flight disruption, you truly miss going to Galapagos because all flights going to the islands leave very early in the morning. And this is not the type of experience where you can just say, oh, well, I'll catch up with the ship. When the ship is gone, it's pretty hard to go find it. So our 10-night package with that 2-night pre, it's truly tried, proven. It is absolutely fantastic. That pre-night package is also all-inclusive. It includes hotels, it includes transfers, it includes tours, it includes meals, all with a gourmet local approach, because part of traveling today includes the flavors of the places that we visit. In addition, it includes a dedicated exclusive flight from Quito, Ecuador into Baltra, Galapagos. That is a 2-hour flight nonstop, only for our celebrity guests. Again, everything is included, gratuities, shore excursions, you name it, all snorkeling equipment, wetsuits for all of our guests, entrance fees, taxes and fees, all onboard programming. This is truly all beverages, of course, that's open bar, not beverages during your meals like many of the other so-called all-inclusives are. This is truly, truly all-inclusive. In addition to our 10-night package, and this is a little bit of the information that I just shared with you, we also have a 16-night package that continues with the post-cruise tour into Peru, including Lima, the Sacred Valley, Machu Picchu, and Cusco. Again, truly all-inclusive, best hotels, accommodations in the area, including the Monastery Hotel, the Palacio del Inca Hotel, including the Hiram Bingham train to Machu Picchu. This is truly 5-star all the way through celebrity style. Flights into Quito, Ecuador from the US are relatively easy. From the East Coast, you have flights connecting through Miami, more than 2 flights a day, sometimes 3. And most of our flights arrive in the evening into the capital city. This is a picture of the hotel. We have a 16-year relationship with the JW Marriott in Quito, and they truly understand the US market, the US consumer, and what the US guest is looking for. And we have not only developed this relationship with the hotel, but we also have a relationship with the staff, where we train the staff, where we supervise all the food. This is truly celebrity all the way through. Some pictures of the capital city. And then the next morning, our exclusive flight that takes our guests 615 miles off the coast of Ecuador into the Galapagos archipelago. This is the relationship that we currently have. We use Avianca flights, either a 319 Airbus or a 320 Airbus, which I also think, know it's very important for you and for our guests to know what type of airplane am I going to fly in. I sometimes get this really great question of, am I flying in a real airplane? and I think I truly understand what they mean by that. I think they mean little prop planes, because I'm the first one to ask, what's the aircraft? When I'm booking my flights, I'm looking what I'm flying. So again, FAA regulated, only the best that there is for our guests in Galapagos. At the end, for us, it is very important that our guests get to experience Ecuador and Galapagos and Peru through the eyes of the experts. Because going to the Galapagos Islands is most likely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So there is no time to waste. All of our tours are guided by Galapagos National Park certified guides. Our groups are between 8 and 10 people, and they really get to see the islands up close and personal. Activities on board include advanced snorkeling, coastal exploration, hiking, kayaking, off the beach excursions, and it happens in a very organic way. Once our guests get on board and they do their check-in on board, there are briefings on a nightly basis. And during that briefing, our guests learn about the next day's activities. During that briefing, our naturalists share what the next day's activities look like, and our guests get to pick what they want to do. We have at least 2 excursions per day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and there's times when we have a third. Again, all regulated by the Galapagos National Park, and they are the ones that give us our activity grid for each and every day. This is a highly regulated park, and we're really, really happy that they do that, because it is the only way that these islands will be there for generations to enjoy. Our guides take our guests ashore. After they pick what they want to do the next day, they get off in the morning and they begin to explore. And one of the big questions that I get asked all the time is, how close am I really going to get to the animals, right? I think for those of us lucky enough to have been on safaris, we know that you have to get on a car or on a bus or on a jeep and go out and try to find them, right? In Galapagos, actually, when you go in, they're there, and they almost feels like they're welcoming you, like they're just as curious about you as you are about them. As you go about the islands and you get to experience what's going on, you get to begin that incredible relationship with these animals, and you begin to learn the correlation between these animals and their environment. how they have changed, how they have evolved, how they have adapted, and how they have survived, depending on their environment and depending on their food source. For example, this is a picture of Fernandina Island, which happens to be a truly volcanic island. If you take a look at the terrain, this is all lava fields, very, very little vegetation, if any. And here you find an incredible colony of marine iguanas. What's really interesting and unique about these marine iguanas is that they have evolved and adapted to find food from the bottom of the sea, because there's absolutely no food on these lava fields. So think about it. They learned the behavior, they learned where the food was, which is basically on the bottom of the sea. They eat algae. So they go in the water, they not only swim, they actually dive. When they dive, they hold their breath as they graze. When they come out of the water, they have learned the behavior to sneeze the water. So on the top of their heads, through their nostrils, once they go through their digestive cycle, they are able to expel the water that they intake during grazing. And if you take a look at that white crusty stuff that you see on their head right there, that is actually salt that once the water dries, it accumulates on top of their head, because that is where their nostrils are. Cormorants. I'm not sure if there are any cormorants in your neck of the woods, but in Florida, they happen to be very common. We see them every time we go out on our boats, every time we go into the Everglades. What's truly unique about the cormorant in Galapagos is that it has evolved, it has adapted, and it has changed to the point where it has lost its ability to fly. That's not a bad thing for this cormorant, because it actually finds everything that it needs, not only to eat, but to nest from the bottom of the sea. So it dives. It has been known to dive more than 70 feet deep, and it actually finds everything that it needs in the water. When it comes out, it still shows the behavior of drying its wings, which is a behavior you will see on a cormorant no matter where the cormorant is. In this case, it only uses the wings as balance when it's walking through rocks like the ones that you actually see here. Probably the best known marine bird from Galapagos is the blue-footed booby. This one happens to be very curious. I love this picture. There is a blue-footed booby, there is a red-footed booby, and there is a Nazca booby. And each of them behave differently. Each of them have a different courtship ritual. All very fun, very different, especially the one for the blue-footed booby. But it is the Nazca booby that I think kind of envelops and defines what Galapagos is all about. The female Nazca booby happens to perch on big cliffs, and it's been known to go out to sea to find food for its young. Usually that female has 2 eggs and both of them will hatch. However, nature and those 2 babies know that she can only bring enough food to have 1 baby grow strong and survive. So the strongest of the 2 new hatchings makes sure that the other one doesn't get food from the mother and actually pushes that one off the nest, because it has to make sure that one continues to grow and is the strongest of the 2. Nature at its best. The waved albatross, the largest of the marine birds, and the one bird that actually does migrate in Galapagos, comes to Española Island between February, March, and November, and it has a great behavior. Up until very recently, it was believed that the albatross mated for life. Lately, through DNA testing, they have found out that on occasion, the female may accept a different mate on a yearly basis. Keep in mind, these birds come to Española. They do a courtship ritual, regardless of whether it's the same mate or a different one. They lay eggs, 1. They take care of the egg together. They raise their young together. They teach them how to fly. And then at the end of the season, all the albatrosses leave Española and they go their separate ways. Males, females, and juveniles. Come February, the same group comes back to Española. In most cases, the couples reunite. They haven't seen each other for 4 or 5 months, and they start a brand new courtship on a yearly basis. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The terrain is very diverse. You can find yourself in a white powdery beach like the one you see here in Gardner Bay one day, which looks very Caribbean-like, where you get to have an amazing experience snorkeling with sea lions and penguins and all kinds of other creatures from the sea, to the next day going into a red beach because, for example, Rábida Island, based on the mineral composition of the islands around it and the composition of the actual sand, it is totally red. There is also green beaches, black beaches, gray beaches, every color you can imagine. It's available in Galapagos. And talking about snorkeling, which happens to be probably one of the favorite activities from everyone, this is where guests get to actually interact with the water creatures. Galapagos sea lions are like puppies. They're like the dogs of the islands. And they come blow bubbles in your face. They pull your fins. They play with our guests. They're truly remarkable mammals. If you've had the opportunity to swim with animals in the wild, it is quite an experience to have. I can sit here and talk to you about the Galapagos all day long, but somehow I got to bring it home and show you that while Galapagos is absolutely fantastic, it truly makes a difference how you get there. And it truly makes a difference on what ship and the staff that's going to service you and your guests and how this experience is going to happen. So 16 years ago, we launched Celebrity Expedition, which was our flag vessel. This is the vessel that kind of put Galapagos in the map from a luxury standpoint. And fast forward to today, we have 3 vessels with the incredible Celebrity Flora now sailing. She's now a year old. The smallest of our vessels is an intimate catamaran of 16 guests. And if you are truly a sailor at heart, because this is a different type of experience, go ahead and get with 15 of your best friends, take the entire ship and go, because this is truly intimate and very private, very authentic, great for families, friends, mini charters, and we always like to say like covert meetings. You know, those meetings where someone comes and says, you know, I want to have a special meeting, but I want it to be really private. Nothing beats the experience on this vessel. And very quickly, I'll show you what she looks like. She has incredible open spaces, amazing staterooms and suites with balconies, incredible dining. Imagine you, the chef, 16 people. You can talk about what you're going to eat. I am sure they're happy to help you get a different menu if what they thought would serve that day is not what you want to eat. You can eat outdoor, indoor. It is truly a remarkable little vessel. Now, Expedition is very dear to my heart. She is the one that started it all. And when we first came to Galapagos, she was launched as a 100 guest vessel. Today, she only holds 48. So talk about space per guest ratio. This is truly remarkable. She's iconic. She's won more awards than any other vessel in Galapagos. And she is perfect, absolutely perfect for that comfort-seeking expedition guest that truly wants the intimacy of having 48 guests, but also wants to have a lot of space. Show you what she looks like. Incredible open spaces, outdoor dining. She truly looks like a mini cruise ship. And it was what was really different about her coming into this destination, because there was absolutely nothing like it in the area. All of our vessels in Galapagos offer our Michelin-starred cuisine. All of our menus are crafted by Cornelius Gallagher and his team. But in the case of Galapagos, which makes it really unique, it's all destination appropriate. All of our provision is done locally. We have sustainable fish. We do organic produce. It is truly a gastronomic experience just to be there. These are the staterooms with balconies in Galapagos, or suites. And then, of course, fast forward, what was happening to us throughout all these 16 years, actually maybe 13 at the time that our president and CEO gave us the news that we were going to build, design, and bring in a brand new vessel for the destination, was that our suites, our balcony staterooms, were the ones that were selling first. So our guests were constantly looking for that nice suite accommodation. So she said, and I don't know that they make him much smarter than Lisa, why don't we just build an all suite vessel, which is exactly what we did. And Celebrity Flora came as an ultra luxury vessel. She won awards for design even before we launched her. She is designed purposely for this destination. If you look at this picture, before I take you through a quick tour, everywhere on this vessel, whether you are in the dining room, in your suite, dining al fresco, relaxing, on the platform where you do stargazing, there are no spaces that don't look outside, including each and every one of the suites. All of the beds face outward. So even when you are in your bed and you're looking out, you're looking at the Galapagos. So it allows us to truly bring the destination on board the vessel. Let me show you what she. These are comments from the first 5 months of us sailing. Actually, if you take a look at where this video just paused, and you see those cabanas in the back, let me tell you a little bit about what that's all about. We have the only Galapagos glamping experience on board our vessel. Very few, a handful of our guests get to experience an overnight stay under the stars. It includes 2 cabanas. One is set up as your living area and one is set up as your bedroom. It includes a sunset dinner, which is campfire inspired. The services of a naturalist to do your own stargazing experience plus your briefing for the next day. Then the second cabin gets put together as your sleeping quarters. A nice bed with your special pajamas. And then you get to sleep under the stars. And in the morning, our staff at sunrise brings you breakfast, and then you get to go back to your room and change and go ashore. Actually, if you choose at 2 a.m. to go back to your room, that's okay too. This is truly a once in a lifetime type of experience that happens in the area, and only Celebrity offers it there. I have not tried it yet, but I promise you the next time I go, I will be the first one on that list to try it. Flora, it's incredibly unique, and I think everything that we do in Galapagos is incredibly unique. From the expert programming of Dr. Prager, which you got to meet earlier, to all of our social and eco-responsibility programs. Keep in mind that this vessel, Celebrity Flora, has a special dynamic positioning where through a system that allows us to be in position via satellite positioning, we don't have to drop anchor. So we can run an anchorless operation, taking care of the seabed in Galapagos. We reuse water on board. We recycle water to use for laundry. We have special batteries. We have special solar panels that actually we use for energy. We have a zero emissions type of operation. It is truly quite remarkable. And one of the main things that we wanted to do when we were thinking about what made Flora so special was to look for a godmother that actually inspired us and made us think even more about everything that you do in the area. And if you allow me, I'd like for you to meet her.
I never thought or dreamt that I would be working on environmental issues. With a group of friends, we created the first environmental NGO in Ecuador. And I started volunteering. The more you learn, the more passionate you become about doing something. I had never known that you could be a godmother of a ship. This is going to be a path that we walk together, an interesting opportunity and challenge.
She's amazing. First day I met her, I asked her, Yolanda, it's such a pleasure to have you, right? To be with you. Tell me, what keeps you up at night? And of course, I'm looking for profound conversation. She says, my grandkids. And then she said, not only because they are very active, because I am concerned about the world that we live in and what we're leaving for them. So I absolutely adore her. I think she is just a perfect grandmother for our vessel. So a little bit of great news right now. We have an amazing offer for all of our Galapagos products, where we have a 50% off second guest, and we are offering air included. So if we had an all-inclusive offer before, now we're truly all-inclusive. Yep. I used to say, all you have to do is add air from wherever you live. Well, guess what? it's already included. So this is a great opportunity. There is no better time to do this. I want to open it up for any questions you may have. I am happy to answer them.
I'm going to open this up so that people can talk and ask any questions. So any of you that want to, any of you that have a question, you're more than welcome to ask Susana or Maria or Michelle. So now's your time.
And if you're too shy now, we could always reconnect after. If you want to send them over to Sherrie and Charlie, we can get the answers to you. So
Absolutely.
no pressure, no pressure.
No.
Susanna, I do have a question. Are there accommodations on the ship that will hold 3 people?
Actually, our accommodations are for 2 people. What we do have is connecting rooms and suites. Some of them connect inside and some others connect through their balconies. So we'd have plenty of accommodations to accommodate families.
Hey, Sherrie.
Yes. Hello? Can you girls hear anything?
I just heard someone start to speak, but I think they fell off, so.
I do too.
Sherrie, this is Rebecca Swan. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can.
How far out are you guys already booking? Like, in other words, are dates already filled? Like, how far should we be thinking? And I started a little late, so you may have already covered this in the beginning.
No, Michelle, Maria, somebody want to give her an answer?
Happy to. We are open through 2022. This happens to be a vacation that you should plan a year in advance. Obviously, we're living in very strange times. As a result, the booking window is a little funky.
Yeah.
And we do have space coming up even in January and February. So
Okay.
I encourage you, instead of looking at what's available, start by telling Sherrie and Charlie, when is it that you have time, and have them look at some dates for you.
Okay.
Keeping in mind that with our Cruise with Confidence and also our deposits being 100% refundable, you are in great hands.
Okay, great.
What's the
Thank you.
seasonality of the place? If you go, for example, if you go deep South America, you want to go off season so that you're not there in freezing weather. Is there seasonality for this cruise?
Great question, Charlie. Because these islands are near the equator, it is warm year round. So we offer it throughout the year. Interestingly enough, if you look up seasonality for Galapagos, you're going to get 2 seasons. One, which is their warmest season, which happens in January, February, March, April. Opposite of us is when the temperatures are the hottest and when the waters are the warmest. Now, hot and warm is very relative. If you're from Miami, Florida, 70 degrees, it's cold. We use our boots, right? Depending on where you come from. But the temperature is summer year round. The temperature never goes below, I don't know, when you're on a walk in the high 70s, even in a cloudy day, which is highly unusual. What does change a little bit is the temperature of the water. June, July, August, September, the water is cooler. We do offer wetsuits for everyone. So this is truly a year-round destination.
So it's kind of opposite of what we have here, where it is cool and cold in the winter months and very hot right now. So
Correct.
It's just the opposite. Okay.
Correct. Sherrie, for example, for a Floridian like me, I don't like to go out in the sun during the day. Most of us that live in South Florida, we stay in air-conditioned weather until it's like 5, 6 in the afternoon. So I love going to Galapagos in August and September because I can go on a hike and I'm cooler. I'm in a temperature where there is a breeze. I can wear my hat and my long sleeve shirt to cover from the sun, which is super important, and not feel super hot. Now, some people that are coming from Canada love that February really hot weather, because that's what they're looking for. So it is truly a year-round destination, but it is truly about what our guests want to do. If they're looking for the longer hikes and don't really enjoy all of that heat, then maybe later in the year is better.
Does that answer your question, everybody? Does anybody else have other questions for Susana? No?
Yeah, no, I know their next question. Will you come with us? Well, if you ask,
We'll squeeze it in. We'll squeeze it in.
I can go to my boss and, we can figure this out. I obviously, I know that I didn't do such a great job where you don't have any more questions. So if you think of any questions, please send them to Charlie and Sherrie, and they'll be happy to get a hold of us. We have plenty of assets out there for you to look at and make your decision. But this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Let me just tell everybody that you can reach us either by email at info@justcruisinplus.com. That's JustCruisinPlus.com. Or you can call us at 615-833-0922. That's 615-833-0922. And any of us or our staff, Charlie and I'll be glad to talk with you, but we have active and adventure specialists on our staff who would be more than happy to work with you. And we would just love to help you plan now and experience later, because we know we're all getting very antsy to start traveling again.
Sure.
And just can't wait for it to happen. So
We can't wait either.
Hey, the good thing about this is you could dream. I mean, just these pictures visually. I mean, it's so stunning. And I went in September a few years ago, and I got emotional just looking at the pictures, because the memories that it left me in my mind, honestly, I think about it all the time. And Susana, you said it a few times. The other thing I was really impressed too is the stars at night. I've never been so close to stars that literally I felt I could touch them. And, I don't know, that really impressed me.
It's a blanket.
Exactly. It's just so many memories. It's just amazing. It's just something that you'll have it in your mind for the rest of your life, because it's a memory you'll always cherish.
Well, this is truly on my bucket list, and I think it's on Charlie's as well. It's the one place that we have not been that we really want to go, and I can't imagine doing it any other way than with celebrity. So, ladies,
thank you.
I can't thank you enough for being here today. Charlie, do you have any closing remarks?
No, I don't. Except to say that the desire to take this trip is 100% stronger than it was, and to have the accommodations like we see on Flora has to make this the most special trip that we will ever take.
We look forward to having you.
I have one quick question. Is there an online brochure on the Galapagos?
Absolutely, there is.
We can get, okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
Because I'm getting some requests for that, so I will definitely find those for them. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Again, ladies, thank you for your Sunday afternoon and spending time with us. And look forward to seeing you again.
See you in the Galapagos.
So much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you to all of our attendees, too. Thank you so much for taking time out to come visit with us. We hope to be able to serve you soon.